Hello and welcome to BusyWorksBeats.com. Today we're going to make an OSAMASON type track. You guys will get the project files for free. And if you're an artist, I'll print out the beat so you guys could have it as well. All right, so firstly, what we want to do is create our synths. Let's go to the channel rack, hit the plus icon, and we're going to mess with the stock FL Studio plugins. They're really good for this kind of fantasy sound. My favorite one is Toxic Biohazard. There's another one called Sauter, which is really good. GMS is good, Poison is good, Morphine is good, but for like these ethereal type sounds, I'm going to go Toxic Biohazard. Let's start off with a keyboard sound and start off on the default. Okay, we're going to be at a danceable BPM, probably like 155-ish, 154. Just to be different, I'm going to make it 154.6, just to be different. And we're going to right click, let's go to piano roll. So I want to create a melody going upward. So 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 1 2 3 4 1 1 2 3. So let's figure out. Let's start in a really high octave or like a higher octave than you normally would, and let's go to pattern mode. Dun. Dun, dun. Now the question is, do we come back down, or do we just go upwards? Dun, 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 dun. Let's repeat this. Let's just see what kind of vibe we get from repeating this. Now we're gonna spread these out so it doesn't go do 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 do. That's just too much. Now let's swap out the sound. Switch out the sound here. As you guys can hear, some sounds are more video game-esque than others. I kind of like that first preset. Now we need to create a counter. So this is just a starting point. This is not like the final version. Let's take this bottom note. We're going to go down probably an octave. And now we need to figure out what chord we're going for. The short answer is we're going to go to the root note and then play what's called 7 semitones up, which is called a perfect fifth. Or we can go down to 5 semitones apart, which is the perfect fourth. That creates more of a tense sound. And then we can move to what's called the fifth. So we're technically playing intervals. So I want this to be more intentional, the melody. So let's think out in our head, like how would we sing a memorable melody, a top line. Dun, 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 dun. Let's turn this up a little bit. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's keep this 4 notes. I like that better. There we go. We're probably going to swap out the sound. Okay, now let's just go through presets. There's no rhyme or reason for this. We're just going through sounds to see if there are any. Okay, we want something very simple. Whoa. These are not simple. That's a pretty cool one. Now my ear wants to hear E for some reason. Okay, so I like where it's headed, but it's a little too elongated. Let's go to the top left here. Let's go to edit, discard lengths. This will make all the notes the same thing. So this is a good starting point. Again, we're probably going to change a lot of that depending on the context. Let's consider this the top line. There's 4 layers to a beat. You have the top line, you have the harmony, which is the chords. You have a contrast layer, which is like counter melody or the bass, and you have a rhythm section. So once we separate sound into all these sections, it'll be mapped out a little bit more. Now let's create a harmony. We need something to glue everything together. Let's use either GMS, Hardmore is pretty good. Just got to pick a thing. Just pick a plugin and just go through presets. There is no rhyme or reason for this. We're just going through sounds here. Let's start a keyboard. Now the question is what type of chord. Remember, the first chord we used was G, and we played the perfect fifth. We could play a major, G, B, D, or we could play a minor, which is G, B flat. Let's just try both. Here's a minor. Minor feels a little dark for this vibe, but instead of playing the third normally where we would, let's raise it up an octave. And I'm going to transpose this. Make this. Okay, so I'm going to move a lot quicker here. I'm going to mute my mic as my laptop's starting to sound loud. So I'm liking this tone way better. Let me go back to that first sound. This is why I said the idea is going to morph, because we're not trying to approach it with a strict music theory approach. So I'm trying to allow my brain to go through the sound first and then morph the idea. Now we're going to swap out this sound here. I want to go with SAW. Toxic Biohazard is better for padsy sounds. Did SAW get an update? I didn't notice that. Wow. Shout out to the update on SAW. If you click here, you can open up the effects. Shout out to SAW. I did not know that got an update. That was a sneaky update. This is why I like to start with harmony first. With harmony, we can derive everything else. This is why this was so important. I'm glad we did it that way, because now we see how important chords are. And I want the same note here, but then we're going to change the chord type. Okay, so now the beat has a feeling, and now we can work off this feeling. Okay, so that's why chords are important. It gives you a feeling first. Let's try some SAW or ARPs. I don't know if these are new presets or what. I don't remember it having an arpeggio category, but maybe it did. Let's try some arpeggio. So what category would this serve? This would serve the rhythm section. So you guys can see how we're categorizing sound so that we're not overlapping sound and making it too full. Now let's add this top line back. Let's do more of a lead sound. I'm using my typing keyboard to play notes here. Right click here, just hit reset, and I'm using my typing keyboard to play these notes. We still need that kind of step motion synth to really be the buzz sound of the track. I'll consider that little riff a contrast. Even though it's not a bass, it's still going against the main kind of rhythm here. So let's create a main top line here. Looks like Poison got a reskin as well. Okay, so now we just got to fix the timing of that little riff. Okay, so see how starting with the chords created so much more space? Okay, because we're not trying to jam 1,000 things into one top line. That definitely helped the space element. Let's start adding some drums here. Let me show you guys something I learned from Synthit. We're gonna highlight all these chords, hit Control G, double click inside of the piano roll. And what we wanna do is, let's say we wanna bend a note to another note in the chord. I'm gonna double click on the note, switch the MIDI color, which is also the MIDI channel. We're gonna switch that to channel 9 in this case, which is pink. And we want to change the target note to the same exact MIDI channel, in this case, pink. Let's double click on this note, make it a slide note. So only the pink note will slide to the other note, or this pink note will slide to this pink note. And it creates a cool pitch bend effect. So just listen for that subtle pitch bend. All right, let me start adding some drums here. For the 808 here, we're going to go to the envelope tab, go to volume. We're going to pull the hold parameter up, everything else down. So now I can truncate the note. I play it, I let it go. It creates like a stutter effect. A lot of these guys are very danceable melodies. What we'll do, let's highlight all the MIDI, hit Control G. We'll combine all the MIDI. Now I can go to the left side, hit right click, and then I could transpose it. So let's transpose it up 3 semitones. And also let's mess with the BPM to try to create a higher pitched experience here. Sounds way more fantasy-like, just up 3 notes, up 3 keys. Alright, so we're super clipping. We need to start turning stuff down, I think, because my headphones are actually lower. Let's highlight all these. Let's hit Control L. Okay, and let's start leveling these sounds. Alright, now let's start adding percussion just to switch it up. Also, I want to add a couple hi-hat rolls here. Let's highlight all the hi-hats, hit Control G, make that one big pattern. Let's hit Control B to latch paste, and now I can double click inside the piano roll, go to the graph editor in the top right. Go to the repeat tab, highlight the hi-hats, and now I can add repeats. I usually do it on the 3rd notes. My new thing is spreading out snares. Okay, so I want the brain to anticipate a snare, but then not get the snare. So we're gonna put a snare on the 3 and then omit the 7. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, blank 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just kind of spreading out the snare a little bit. Add a little time delay to this 808 and the hi-hats. Now, part of the OSAMASON sound is distorting the sound. I'll show you guys a couple ways I could do it. Again, without the vocal, it's not going to really make too much sense. But let's just run a fruity wave shaper into a soft clipper. Let's add a little more delay and reverb to our main top line. It didn't have reverb, so we're just going to use delay. Let's turn these chords down a little bit. I wouldn't normally push the track this hard, but this is the sound that, you know, he's known for, that distorted, crunchy sound. See how simply delaying the 808 a little bit more added that bouncy groove. So I have to ask, you know, how much activity do I want with the 808? I kind of like it spread out. What I'll do though is make two sections here. And I'll show you guys, oh wait, pattern. Wait, I think I messed up the paste here. Let me, 1, 2, okay. So what I'll do is I'll create two areas. Hold on, let me just do it before I start talking here. Let's clone this. One has an active 808, one doesn't. We're gonna combine all of the MIDI together, hit Control G. The reason we're doing that is because now I want to pitch it back down to see if we get a darker vibe or a brighter vibe. Let's see which side sounds cooler. It definitely is more of an introspective, more emotional sound, lower in the tuning. But I do like the fantasy sound by pulling it up an octave. So I'm trying to debate which style we're going for. I like this darker tuning because it feels more natural at that BPM, but let's pull it back up. That's how you get that distorted but laid back sound. Let's do this one more time. And also it's a more of an ethereal sound. Let's add a couple more delays to the top line just to get it to bounce more. Alright, so I changed the filter for each section. Let's play this one more time. So it definitely has an emotion. So stock plugins can do some pretty cool stuff. To get these project files and the printed beat, go to busyworksbeats.com/FL Studio. Thank you guys. Subscribe if you're new. And if you want to learn how to make beats like the pros, we have over 68 music production courses. go to busyworksbeats.com/premium, because at the end of the year I offered to this year the black box bundle, which is all of my courses, 68 plus music production courses, 6 of my plugins, and our sound packs all in one. So you guys get that this end of the year. So it's active right now. Let's go to busyworksbeats.com/premium. Peace out, guys.